Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Broadway Jets YouTube channel. You'll know me from Twitter as NYJ Mike. I'm joined as always by the master of receipts, NYJ Matt. And today, Matt, we're going to look back at the draft class that the Jets put together in the 2023 draft.
It was a fun 3 days. One of my favorite days of the entire year. And I did nothing. Rainy weekend in the Northeast and just watched the entire draft unfold. We'll get into it. Very different draft than the past couple of years, for good and for bad. A lot of grades will come out. Mike, take me through. We talked about McDonald on day one. Take me through your thoughts on day two, day three, and we can go pick by pick. But before we do that, don't forget to hit subscribe because I think 5% of our viewers are subscribed and 99.9% of viewers are males between the ages of 25 and 45. So we got to grow that brand a little bit, Mike. Got to grow it.
Grow the brand. We've been in some talks with some females to come on the show. I don't think we have. I think that's not true.
We can get my girlfriend to come on the show and talk about what jersey I can get for my birthday this year.
I did your every year for your birthday, I get you a nice jersey of one of the Jets players. I did come in. I missed your birthday, but it came in yesterday. I won't
All
tell you
good.
what it is. I'm looking forward to it. I got myself one too.
Love it. Love it. So hey, okay. We went over Titman. We went over McDonald. We'll talk about the Titman pick more. I love it. The versatility.
Yeah, that's my favorite pick of the draft.
Agreed. And his biggest flaw is that he's too tall. We've talked about that. Like the biggest thing
Fine.
people will be like, he's too tall for a center.
I'd rather him be like than really short.
Agreed.
Bigger
Agreed.
dude, more
So
mass.
round four, pick 120. They go Carter Warren out of Pitt, the
Yeah.
offensive tackle. A depth play, a lot of, hey, if he wasn't hurt, he'd be a day two pick. New Jersey local kid. I like it. It's like the Cam Clark move from 2020, where I'm like, if he can turn out to be like a depth piece, but maybe even a starter once he gets with the staff, be very cool.
Yeah, that's what you want in a fourth round pick. It was so funny too watching the draft coverage of the day three, and it's like basically whenever anybody gets picked, the commentators are like, guy could have went in like the third round. Like I had him with like a late three grade. Like guy gets picked like early fourth round. But no, I was happy with that pick. And the Jets are hosting right now. They have the Billy Turner,
Yep.
who's a swing tackle kind of dude in the building as we speak right now. So Jets are looking to add depth at the tackle position. I mean that's what this draft comes down to, Matt. In my opinion, is the Jets kind of missed out on a couple guys a couple different times. So they missed out on the tackle in the first round, and then it seemed like whenever the Jets were, they were going to pick like a DeJuan Jones, or it just kept not falling the right way.
Yeah, and DeJuan Jones had like character concerns. They kept saying. I watched his interview with the Browns. Seems like a great dude, just like a happy-go-lucky 6'8" guy. But yeah, you take the tackle out of Pitt, and then you take a running back out of Pitt. People call him Israel. What is it? Abanaconda.
Abanaconda
Bang.
that's how it's pronounced in some of the highlights. I don't know if those announcers are right.
And going into that pick, I'm not gonna lie. My thought process wasn't running back. I wasn't like, give me a running back. And I think what the pick means is that the Jets, when it comes to Brees Hall's knee, they're thinking we need some really good insurance, because when he went down, he had the cool game against the Bears. But outside of that, the running game became stagnant. Michael Carter didn't add anything new. Bam Knight was kind of cool. Ty
He had a
Johnson
good game
one
against the
game.
Vikings. Bam night. That was the one. Yeah, but
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with you. And then Bam slowed down the stretch. James Robinson didn't do anything. That turned out to be not a very good trade. But it's interesting. I mean, did you hear the rumor that the Jets were going to try to take Jameer Gibbs at 15? Because
Dude,
what does that mean? I don't understand that at all.
I'm wondering if that rumor comes into play to maybe have a team that loved them trade up. Like I don't to
Yeah,
trade up to the Patriots and not take a like. There's no like, if they would
the
have
Jets were going
taken,
to take Broderick Jones if he was there. They had to
all the reports are saying no, and if they would have taken a running back at 15, he could be.
have.
Dude, I don't know what I would have done.
He must have. They wanted to use him as like a slot receiver or something. It just doesn't make any sense. You don't take Brees Hall last year. He has what would have been probably an All Pro season if he doesn't get hurt. All Pro, all
Maybe
rookie
they're very
team. That doesn't
concerned
have to be
about
an
the
All Pro running
recovery.
back. Yeah, fuck you take a 15th overall. That's the scary part. That's what is making me nervous about Brees. But Brees looks like he's healthy, and he said he's going to play week one.
And the cool thing about Izzy, Mike, the highlights of one cut runner, he just explodes. They said he ran like a 4.3 at his pro day, and people had him potentially lower, like ridiculously fast home run hitter. Give me it. I'm perfectly fine with it. I'm very much more okay with the pick, knowing that they're going to truly use him as RB2, pop plays, a perfect complementary for a Brees Hall, who, if he goes down, knee's not great, fine. The writing's on the wall for Michael Carter. And a lot of people will get mad
Yeah,
at me for saying that. You need
you've been
to
on
pop
this. You've been
more.
on this.
You just you need to pop more when you're given the opportunity. And how many times, I'm not trying to compare him because maybe I can compare him. Denzel Mims was on the field a ton in 2021.
Mm-hmm.
And he just didn't do anything when he was on the field.
Most notably, at the end of the season, the Jets had injuries to Corey Davis and Elijah Moore, and Denzel Mims had multiple zero catch games in that span.
So Michael Carter, you go on the field, like, just give me, and I want to blame the O line, but then how do you have Bam Knight and Ty Johnson put together like normal? I did the stat of 10-yard plus carries per carry. Michael Carter was dead last on the Jets roster by a billion.
Yeah. Well, it's
So
interesting because Michael Carter, with his size, kind of profiles as that third down running back kind of guy, but he's not that fast. So this dude is obviously a burner. The only thing with Izzy is he didn't have many receptions, which could have just been how Pitt used him.
yeah,
But Brees Hall can catch the ball well, so that's fine. But if he's gonna be like a strict third down dude, he's got to produce more in the pass game. That being said, guy had 1,300 yards and 20 touchdowns in 11 games on the ground, so that's fun. And it's fun. Always a fifth round pick. You get good value at the running back spot. So for example, I'd expect this Izzy to have a bigger impact than Zaire Barnes, who is the other Jets fifth round pick, which is fine, just because of position and whatnot. Yeah, and and the Zaire Barnes is going to be directly impacted if the Jets go out back and re-sign Quan.
it's a good segue. Zaire Barnes is the one, he'll be the unforgotten guy of this entire draft class. Everyone that has done grades that I've seen, they're like, every grade is a B to an A. And then Zaire Barnes, they have to give out one C. They give it to Barnes. And a lot
I
of
saw
people,
you made a tweet with unbiased, and it was like everyone's an A plus. I think Tippmann was an A plus plus, and then Barnes was just an A. So,
and the top comment, like, what do you have against Zaire Barnes? And
yeah.
I also thought of Zoe Barnes from House of Cards the moment
Yes.
I saw the pick. But at, when you look at it, this is almost like your Hamza Nasruddin, Jamie and Sherwood, where you give me a young linebacker on day 3 and let him try to be a favorite of the coach and let him grow into a good player from Western Michigan. Salah has ties to that conference. A very okay pick. It doesn't really matter. But I think the next 2 picks, though, are high upside. Could be a bust, doesn't matter. And that goes into Jarek Bernard Converse. I can't even say
Yep.
it. Tough. But hey, the pick that he had against Bama was very cool. That was a
In
very
the
cool
end
play.
zone. Yeah. I saw a stat. He was like the 6th best coverage grade of any corner with a certain amount of snaps in college football that got drafted this year. Kind of cool. You need cornerback depth just because you have the young guys and Sauce and Reed and Michael Carter. I don't know what that means for our old friend Bryce Hall, whose shirt that I bought.
But I think they also could. They said he could play safety. Like that could be another.
I
Like a
don't know
good
what the
cover.
Jets are doing at safety. Do not understand it because when the Jets traded for Chuck Clark, he profiles very similarly to Jordan Whitehead,
Right.
and people are like, oh, the Jets will now cut Jordan Whitehead, which they did not do. So they're both on the roster. You have Tony Adams, who played well at the end of last year as a free safety. You have Will Parks, who thinks he's Troy Polamalu on Twitter, which is
He
fine.
does.
You like that. You should think that, but it's, now you have this guy. I know it's a weird safety group, and the Jets didn't do much to. You would have said that that's one of the Jets' biggest holes going into the offseason. They didn't really address it too much. You got Clark was the starting player, which is fine. I don't think they're going to start Clark and Whitehead is my point, so I don't know what they're doing. But
Yeah.
I don't think this guy's going to start either.
No.
So,
No. And we'll see where it goes because they loved Pinnock too at that role potentially, and they cut him last year. The
yeah.
Giants pick him up. So the final player,
Cunts.
it's Zach Kuntz, and I.
It
That's how
is
you pronounce
Kuntz.
it. No, I'm gonna live
It's
under the
cunts.
reality. No, it is 100% Kuntz, but that's not the reality that I'm living.
Yeah.
It's so funny because this was a guy that a lot of people knew about too because of the number one tight end RAS score of all time. Just
Yeah.
like the profile is ridiculous. I mean, if you're gonna give me a guy, give me this guy instead of like a Daniel Brown from like a couple.
Yeah.
Just give me a guy that could be insane for no reason and just hilariously huge, like 6'7", runs like a 4.5. Like, what the fuck is
And
that?
he was productive, 73
Yeah.
catches last year. I mean, it's interesting. The Jets obviously have Uzama, Tyler Conklin, and Ruckert. So figure those would be the opening day tight ends on the roster, but you never know. Could always use someone as like H back. I know
Yep.
the Jets did re-sign Nick Bawden after the season, the fullback. So that comes into play. They are pretty deep in that spot, but I agree with you. Why not take a chance in this freak of nature instead of like just a random fat blocking tight end?
Yeah. Now, Mike, tell me your grade. What is your draft grade?
Overall,
I think
I'm
we're gonna
gonna
have the same grade.
I think I'm gonna go with a C plus.
Wow.
I was underwhelmed. The first round, I don't think the Jets went in with a bad plan. I think they got kind of shafted. Just it was one of those drafts where again, things that the Jets needed went right before them. I love the Titman pick. I think that's an A. It's been one of those things where we've kind of wanted one of these second round centers the last few years and haven't done it. If the fact that those certain guys work out or didn't, it is what it is, in the past. But I'm
Right.
happy with this pick. Again, I'm not gonna knock the Jets on if they like a guy in a certain position over another guy. So the fact that they took Will McDonald over Nolan Smith is fine because I haven't watched every snap of both those guys. I have no idea. They're both defensive ends. Fine. I'm more. It's more about the position. So like if they took Michael Schmitz instead of Titman, what? Like how the fuck do I know? I don't know. I don't watch these guys play every single snap. So
Yep. And I was thinking a B minus, if we're
sure,
being honest. And
fine.
you could talk me into a B and you could talk me lower. The reason I lean B minus is because I still think that pick swap, as much as it could have hurt them from getting a tackle, all of reports are like, they wanted Gibbs. They weren't going to take Broderick Jones. And
Then
who
why'd the
knows what,
Steelers trade up? Why it doesn't make sense. Why'd
yeah,
they jump us? They're
I don't
lying.
I don't know. It's a weird situation. And I'm perfectly fine with how the first two rounds went because there's no tackle there. So if you can't trade back, just take the guy you think is the best player available and a guy that is now insane on the edge that you can couple with Dwayne Johnson if a year from now Lawson and Bryce Huff aren't on the team.
Yeah, look, and I get it. It's just frustrating. You hear all these reports that McDonald would have been there at 30 at whatever. So that is annoying. It's
It is
frustrating. And the like even small things like the trade back with the Raiders kind of made no sense value wise. Like some just nitpicky because it's in the fifth and sixth round, but very not an inspiring draft. It did at times seem like they didn't have a real backup plan. You pointed out they panned to the camera to the Jets war room, and it's like after all the tackles went, they're like, "What the fuck?"
I
Couldn't
mean,
get it.
yeah.
You couldn't get a value. You couldn't trade back there because even if it's a bad value trade, if you think you can get McDonald later, make the fucking trade back. Like Nolan Smith went what 29th, and that guy was a higher rated prospect on most people's boards than McDonald. Frustrating. So that's why I think it's a C plus. But I do love the center in the second round, and it seems like this Izzy running back is going to be an explosive, fun player too.
Yeah, and if you ever get a little, you won't ever get like this because you're a positive fan. But if you're like a half second, like, underwhelming draft,
Oh, you got Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers. It's all that
Oh,
matters.
if you include Aaron Rodgers as like any part of this draft, it's A plus, A plus 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 plus. There's no amount of pluses, no positive grade that is too high for what the
Yeah,
Jets did. And by the way, Rodgers, the only thing with Rodgers so far, it's like I wish he had like a little bit worse behavior. Like his behavior's been too good.
he's been too nice. He's been
He's been
too.
too
Every
nice.
answer is
He's
perfect. Every game you go,
like
what's
he is an
happening?
asshole. We know he's an asshole for 18 years. Like he can't just be completely not an asshole. So at some point he's gonna do something annoying. And I kind of rather him do it now. Like get it out of your system in the summer. It's not even the summer yet. But he's like beautiful haircut, like jacked up, smiling. going out with his teammates. What the fuck is he doing? I wish he would do something annoying.
That's an interesting take, and I get it. I love him though. He's at volunteer. Like, I gotta find all the tweets from those dumb idiot blue checkmark people that said that he wouldn't be at voluntary workouts. He's just there throwing the ball to Garrett Wilson.
He likes
Very
to
fun.
volunteer. He's like really having a good time.
And I'm
Dude,
gonna.
that
How am I gonna clickbait title this video? Do I make it the truth about the 2023 New
yeah, I
York
like
Jets
that.
draft?
I like
Dot
it.
dot dot.
Just it could be anything. Yeah, I like that. You have to find out. Gotta click on it.
How do I make a thumbnail? Do I put like what do I put in the thumbnail?
But
I'll put like I'll put like Kate Upton
no,
doing the
put
cat.
Titman. Put Titman because he's the most popular
Don't
pick.
put Kate Upton doing the cat daddy as like the side, so someone
Can
would
you
click on the
do
video.
that? Did
Yeah,
she do that? What
you
is
know
the
what?
cat
That was
daddy?
like the most historic video when we were in middle school ever.
Kate Upton doing the cat daddy?
Yeah, we got it. We'll
I gotta
debrief.
check that out.
Yeah, but I think at the end of the day, B minus B draft. I would go. I think it's even too far to say that it was underwhelming, given they already they don't have a lot of holes in their roster. They got depth guys and they got 3 guys that could potentially become starters right away.
I just the Will McDonald situation bothered me. It just didn't feel like the Jets were really. Joe Douglas is usually very sharp with these things. Didn't feel like they were in the driver's seat in that whole situation. Did
Yeah.
not felt like they got caught off guard, and you can't in that situation. So if we get a, you know, pass rusher who's going to play like 20% of the snaps, have 2 sacks, is your 15th pick in a win now year, is not ideal. But you have Aaron Rodgers, and I like the second round pick. So I'm not so devastated. Just I don't think it was to be honest. Like if I'm gonna, you have to compare what last year's draft is an A+. This one cannot be anything near that. It could work out that way, but just right now, it's not.
Are rookies not allowed to be at voluntary workouts? I don't think they are, because I want to see a picture of Titman snapping a ball to Rodgers. I don't think it can happen until OTAs.
Yeah, probably not, right? Because they
There's a
already
mini camp.
started.
There's a rookie mini camp, I think. And
Yeah,
Becton will be there tomorrow. Becton
yeah.
DM me that he'll be there tomorrow.
We finally have a real source. Nice,
I broke. Yeah,
nice. Did you
I
tweet
broke
it?
it. No, I tried to get him to come on here. He's like, yeah, soon. I'm like, probably not going to happen.
Yeah, we'll get him.
All right.
We'll keep working on it.
If you made it to the end, hit subscribe. If you did make it to the end, shoot us a DM that you made it to the end. I
Yeah,
love that we get good retention on the videos. But Mike, anything before we wrap up?
Look, the Jets have Aaron Rodgers. Every day is a great day. Like the fact that I get to wake up and the Jets account tweets Rodgers throwing a pass to Garrett Wilson is just like it's awesome. It's really nice.
Who's got it better than us?
Ooh, what a time.
No one. Have a good one, buddy.
Peace.